So, we want to tell you our opinion on this amazing movie called Man of Steel. And I saw it at Masterworks Festival my first week there, so it had been out for like a week or two when I saw it, so it was still fairly recent. And then he just saw it last week.
Well, I saw it last week. I was at the Dollar Movies and I was like, hey, let's check it out. Let's see how bad this movie is. If it is bad, um, it turned out to be worse than bad.
And he knew it that it was going to be bad because I told him it was going to be bad.
Yeah, as soon as he got a chance to talk to me or call me, she ranted
For
um,
quite a
for
while.
quite a while about how
Quite a while.
how bad this movie was, and I was like, wow, this movie does seem really bad. But it was one of those things where I was like, well, she went through it, might as well go
He had
through
to
it.
sit through it. It's not fair because I paid full price and he only had to pay $1, but I made him sit through it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I took my little brother because I told myself I'm not gonna sit through it by myself, and we watched it together. And where do we begin?
First of all, I'd like to point out that 6 Avengers and a whole army of aliens didn't destroy an entire city, while one Superman and one General
General Zod.
Zod destroyed one entire metropolis.
Like,
And from what I understand, Metropolis isn't as big as New York City. I don't know. It might have been, but my point is, two people destroyed Metropolis as opposed to 6 Avengers and
an army of aliens.
yeah. And I mean, I know in Man of Steel they had that machine thing, but no excuse. Like, Superman was doing it on purpose so he could go apply at the Daily Planet the next day.
And it was so stupid because like it was just careless fighting. Like yeah, I get like a lot of people argue the action sequences were so awesome. That was the Superman movie. Like, but he's knocking him into gas stations that are blowing up right next to people, right next to the civilians that he's trying to protect. He's knocking out buildings, destroying buildings full of people that he's supposed to be protecting.
I didn't see him trying to evacuate people. I'm just
No,
saying.
no, it was just like building there, boom. There was no him trying to stop the people. That only happened till the very end, which at that point I was like, you've killed like thousands of people.
Why do you care? Why do you care?
So stupid.
And my knowledge of Superman isn't that extensive. I didn't grow up with comic books, but one of my main problems with the movie is that Lois Lane figured out who Superman was. Now, I don't know anything about Superman, but I do know that Lois Lane doesn't know who Superman is. Those glasses somehow throw her off. And so I was
Yeah,
very upset that she figured out who he was in like the first 5 minutes of the movie.
it was so stupid. Like,
But
and she gave him the name Superman in this movie. She, no, like she doesn't know who Superman is. Like I'm not a big fan of Superman, and I was even offended with this movie because there was so many things that I was like, this is just, and like the whole beginning to me felt like Batman Begins. I felt like this was Batman Begins with Superman. Guy goes out into the wild trying to find himself. That's what it was. There was nothing special about it. And they could have killed General Zod within the first 5 minutes of the movie. It's like, let's capture this guy who's swearing revenge on our only remaining Kryptonian. Let's, you know what? Let's send him out into a prison in outer space. While this planet we're on is gonna blow up. How does that make sense? Why not keep him in the prison within the planet that's gonna blow up so that way he blows up with everybody else instead of sending him into outer space where he's just gonna get free? That was could have ended the movie right there.
now, as you may realize, neither of us are Superman fans, but I wouldn't say that this biased our opinion because, well, I'm not really into superheroes anyway. That's just something I didn't grow up with, and there hasn't really been a superhero movie that I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, let's go watch it. Um, but there have been some superhero movies that I have been able to get into and like, and they're not necessarily my favorites, but I do enjoy them, and I would sit through them again. I have sat through some of them again.
Like Iron Man to me was never one of the best. I really wasn't into Iron Man, and yet when the movie came out, I was into it because they did the movie well.
I like Iron Man.
And I wasn't a Thor. I knew nothing about Thor. The movie was but it was still what's the
The
word?
only thing I like about Thor is Loki.
Oh, Loki's amazing.
And the only reason I'm excited for Thor 2 is because of Loki.
Loki's amazing. Avengers was even more amazing because of Loki.
Yeah. I know there's some people that think that Loki ruined it, but Loki made the movie for me.
Loki was awesome. Loki
Was.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like I guess going to villains, like Loki was such an amazing villain. Other examples, Heath Ledger as Joker was an amazing villain in which they stand out. This to me, General Zod was a generic villain. Like I'm angry, I destroy stuff. Grr. And like even his sound effects were so stupid. Like grr, his faces he would make. I was like, you're just being a generic villain. There's nothing special about you, nothing likable about you. You're just any other villain.
And he knows more about superheroes than I do. And again, it's not even that we're biased against Superman because he loves Batman, but he hated The Dark Knight Rises. But that's a different story.
That'll be a different review because I love Batman. But yeah, that's a whole other story.
I didn't like that one. I was bored. But I'd sit through that again over Man of Steel. And I hated both of them. Like, really, seriously.
I would.
Both of them.
I would too. Even though they offended my favorite comic book hero.
Yeah. I didn't like Captain America either, but that's a different story too. Yeah, that one was boring too.
One other thing that I found really stupid about Man of Steel, Superman basically tells General Zod how to control his powers.
Yeah.
Because his helmet gets blown up and General Zod's like, oh my god, what's going
Like,
on?
you could have just defeated him right then and
Yeah.
there. Like,
And
you didn't have to kill so many people, Superman. Like, I seriously think that Superman purposefully wanted to destroy Metropolis so he could apply for the Daily Planet. So, and now he got rid of all the witnesses. So, you know.
that makes for a better plot. I would say that makes a better story.
Yeah. I mean, but they couldn't show that because people would be like, grr.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're going to stop now.